Hey guys, happy Saturday. I'm continuing with the case study series this week. So this will be my third case study out of five that I'm going to be doing. So let's talk about this one. So this one is about my client named Ryan. So we're just going to call him Ryan. And I posted his transformation picture earlier, so you can scroll up my timeline and you can see his before and after. So I have worked with a whole variety of people. I've worked with, athletes. I've worked with ex-bodybuilders. I've worked with people coming off of shows. I have some clients in the Secret Service. I have, people that used to be college athletes, all of these things. So what do all these people have in common? So all of these people have in common that they are all athletes and they usually know how to eat, take care of their bodies, train, things like that for the most part. So Ryan was a former, bodybuilder. He just did it, recreationally when he was a little bit younger, but he maintained all of the habits. So he was maintaining all the habits of, eating 6 to 7 small meals a day. He was lifting 5 days a week using, like bodybuilder splits. And he was, doing cardio, things like that. Like your classic, like egg whites and oatmeal for breakfast. And, like I said, like whey protein shakes, things like that. So technically something like that could work. But as you can see from his before picture, which you can see if you scroll down my timeline, he was having some serious problems with cutting, and he had a lot of like bloating and distension issues. So what typically would happen in a situation like this, if someone doesn't know what they're looking for, they're going to go ahead and they're going to start slashing their calories and cutting their calories and cutting their calories. And this may work, but this, in the sense that they're taking in less energy, but it's never going to solve their bloating problem. So they may start to shrink, their bodies may start to shrink, but the belly area is going to stay the same size throughout the process, and they're likely going to sacrifice muscle. They may even run into some even bigger problems, because if they are that bloated, that means that they have, like GI problems going on. So they might not be absorbing all of their food anyway. So he could already, have been at a major deficiency, and then we cut his calories more, and then we're layering deficiencies on top of deficiencies, and that's not going to help anything in the long run. So what I did with him was I changed his meal frequency altogether. So I said the 6 meals a day, no more. We're not going to do those anymore. It's just a little too much overload for his GI system. I took him off of all sucralose containing products. So, a lot of workout supplements have sucralose in them. And although, lab studies and PubMed studies have showed it to be safe, unfortunately, in some people, it can actually decrease some of the good gut bacteria. So I took him off sucralose just to be on the safe side, so that it was no longer, decreasing his gut bacteria, because I suspected that it was. The other thing that we did was we did more gut support protocols. So we did some things that were special for him. Based on an evaluation I did on him. I just asked him some few questions. I created a custom protocol for him. And these are just, supplements anybody can get off Amazon. They aren't like special. And they did the trick. And we changed his cardio to 2 times a week. He just started doing some sprints, and we kept his lifting to 5 days a week, still continuing to train like a bodybuilder. But I changed a few of his splits up just to change it up a little bit. And throughout that time, it took us about 6 to 8 months in that before and after picture. Let me see what you said, Mark. What type of probiotics did you alter? Well, in his scenario, I gave him more of a higher count of probiotics. So like adding like an Activia or, like a yogurt or something like that wasn't going to be enough for him. It needed to be something that was a little bit more inclusive in terms of number of species, because he also had a history of antibiotic use. So a lot of these things were causing some of these deficiencies. So doing all of these things over 6 to 8 month period, it caused his GI distension and problems to settle down, for his gut biome to return to a little bit more of a baseline, a little bit more to normal. And he lost body fat, gained muscle, and he's continuing to maintain. And we did all of this without having to unreasonably cut his calories, unreasonably increase his cardio, and continuing to add fat burning supplements. Because typically when people get to the point where he was at before he came to me, they add more cardio, they cut more calories, and they start adding thermogenic fat burners. And that, like I said, that's never ever going to address the underlying problem, which is a gut imbalance of some kind. So that's just, something that people don't think about. But I wanted to share that one with you. It's one of my favorite case studies because we had such an awesome result, and it's fairly common amongst all Americans. Most Americans have some type of gut disturbance, and it's usually diagnosed as, IBS, and in some cases it's fairly easy to fix. So that was my case study on Ryan. I've got 2 more to go, so I'll be sharing those, if not tomorrow night, probably on Monday. So have a great weekend, and thanks again for tuning in.